Hey there, fellow dudes, Parker back, and today we're gonna count down my top 10 favorite films of 2023. It was a packed year with some fantastic films, especially in the second half of the year, and I can't wait to go through the list and share my 10 favorite films. It's been a year filled with some really strong performances, some unexpected but delightful directorial debuts, and seasoned vets just flexing their filmmaking muscles all over the screen. I'm really excited about this list. I can't wait to share it with you all. So without further ado, let's get into this, my top 10 films of 2023. We're going to start out with some honorable mentions. These are films that just missed the mark from being in my top 10, but I felt deserved a shout out and some recognition just the same. This is a movie that flew under the radar for a lot of people, but it's a powerful film on race and status. A return to form for Pixar after a couple of missteps. One of Disney's few excellent films of the year. This movie has all of the elements and all of the emotions wrapped up into a curated Pixar package. Bradley Cooper cements himself as a world-class director in this sophomore follow-up to A Star is Born. Held on the shoulders of Cooper's nuanced performance and arguably the best supporting actress performance of the year in Carey Mulligan. Culturally poignant, delightfully designed, a movie that held up to the hype. It'll leave you with a new sense of appreciation for your mother, wife, sister, and any other strong female figure in your life. Definitely give it a try. So those are just a few of my honorable mentions. Again, those were the ones that just quite didn't make the list but deserved a shout out and all had their very special mark on the filmmaking scene this past year. Without further ado, let's get into the top 10. This is the absolute shock of the year. I'm not really a big Godzilla fan. I haven't watched a lot of those films, but this movie encapsulates the full potential of what a kaiju film has to offer. You can feel the passion and love for the original source material of Godzilla. Set in a post-World War II era, you're going to fall in love with all of the characters of this film, and even by the end of it, you might be rooting against Godzilla himself. On top of the wonderful characters and development going on throughout this film, this movie is a visual spectacle and made only off of $15 million. You heard that right. It looks better than some of the biggest blockbuster films of the year. Go see this on the big screen while you still have a chance. I personally believe that musicals are cinema in its purest form. Motion, sound, and larger-than-life set pieces all wrapped into one beautiful package, and this movie has all of those to offer. Topped off with a poignant and timeless story that resonates deeply to this day. Add on an ensemble of world-class performers, and you've got yourself a win. Emotional, tragic, heartwarming, and heartbreaking, all wrapped up into one. A film that stretches across a brevity of emotions and themes, anchored by Zac Efron's best performance of his career. You won't be leaving the theater with a dry eye with this one. A masterclass in animation and visually stunning. The blend of art styles and the amount of design put into this film is a reason enough to celebrate it. Add on to the fact that it takes the tropes and cliches of comic book films and of Spider-Man himself and turns it into the real villain of the story. This film is a breath of fresh air in a year where most comic book films have been suffocating. My horror genre pick of the year. It's simplistic in its design, but deeply layered in its execution. It's filled with haunting imagery and well-crafted themes that will follow you home from the theater and stick with you well after the credits stop rolling. An unexpected film to end up on this list, and a film that flew under the radar for a lot of people this year. This is a biopic documenting the rise and fall of the BlackBerry company and BlackBerry itself. This film is incredibly snappy, beautifully paced and edited, and will keep you engaged in the corporate dramas of the world better than any other film of the year. Martin Scorsese does it again. An epic that documents the tragic story of the Osage people in the early 1900s. Centered at the heart of the film is a love story that's both tragic and despicable. It's safe to say you'll be hearing the name of this film a lot more when award season comes rolling around. Could this be the next Christmas classic? I sure think so. Whether that be its original intent or not, you won't help but fall in love with the characters of this film. Deeply layered and incredibly relatable, The Holdovers is one of Alexander Payne's best film in years. Not to mention, this is probably Paul Giamatti's best film in years, if not of his career. This film will leave you with an innate sense of hope and remind you that even if you're not related, you can still find family in the most unlikely of places. This film is hauntingly melancholy. Celine Song comes out swinging in her directorial debut. This is the most authentic and real movie I saw this year. A love story between two people who may have missed their chance and reconciling with the emotions that come with that. It's beautiful, it's soft, heart-wrenching, and in my personal opinion, will go down as one of the best directorial debuts of this generation. With all of the anticipation and expectations coming with Barbenheimer, it absolutely blows my mind, pun intended, that this film surpassed expectations. This is the culmination of Christopher Nolan's filmmaking career. It's an absolute masterpiece of direction and storytelling. We came to the movie with hopes of the spectacle of the atomic bomb and left enthralled by the courtroom drama and backstabbing of politicians. Not to mention, this film has one of the most powerful and poignant endings to a film ever created. It's an absolute must-watch for anybody who enjoys cinema, even in the slightest. If it's playing somewhere in theaters, and I'm sure it'll get a re-release come award season, definitely go check this film out on the largest screen. Although a lot of it takes place in rooms with talking, you still want to see this on the biggest screen and be enthralled in the storytelling. This is one of those movies that pulls you in from the first frame and keeps you there until the last frame of the movie. Go see it in theaters, go see it on the biggest screen. I promise you won't be disappointed. So that's it. That is my top 10 favorite movies of 2023. So let me know what you think of my list below. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? What are some other films that I should have put on the list? And as always, if you like this content, make sure to subscribe to Dude Reacts and The Fellow Dude on YouTube. Until next time, see you then.